Another cool thing that you can do with line animations is use them to animate a connection or a process, a relationship, something like that. So you can see here that what I've done in this simple example is I've got an icon here, and of course you can use your own, you don't have to use something from Groove Animator. The idea really is that I'm really focusing in on this line that is connecting the two icons and creating this idea of, again, a process or a relationship, and something like that. One of the things that I like about things like this is that when you're using straight lines, you can do that. It's just as cool and everything. But when you're using kind of this bumpy line, that can actually do a couple things for you. One, it's kind of interesting visually over a straight line. It's also kind of can communicate the realities of, a process like this. It could say, look, this process is fluid. It could have to change directions a little bit. Like when you're making video, like this icon, this sort of example sort of is, looking like it's trying to portray. Yeah, I can definitely think of situations where I might be trying to say, look, this process can change over time. I might hire a male actor or model, and they can't show up, and I have to use a female instead, or I might have to change a script, or maybe the price changes, or something like that, or the deadline, and so forth. So the process changing over time, this kind of thing also can help to communicate that, even it's just an undercurrent to the message. But the nice thing is that sort of flow there creates both visual interest and communicates conceptually what's going on. And so this is very simple to do. Now, just real quick, the icons are just using appear multicolor. They're just appearing, and I did bump up the loops there. Actually, I changed them between these two because the second one is going to be shorter, but I sized them. I basically used the timeline ability to drag the ends to kind of get them to match up. So, but really the real thing is here on this line here, and you can see that I've got a draw in and a draw out all on the same line. So I basically clicked on this. By the way, these are connectors right here are a free edition. You can get those on the page where I've provided this. You can see here that you want to go to Groove Animator series. So grooveanimator.com, groove-animator-series, and you'll see stuff like this. I'll be adding another one here with a link below it, and you can get that for free. And when you download that, it's going to be in a zip file, so just unzip that, go to the Import tab, click on Import to SVG Library, and you're going to see Install Connectors. It's going to be a folder. You need to have unzipped it, of course. You see I've got my zip file. Now you don't want to click into it, you just want to click on that folder because it's going to install the subfolder to the subfolder here on inside of Groove Animator so that you can have those available to you here like I do. So once you've done that, you'll have all these different options, and I didn't create any straight line options because you've got that here inside of the primitives. So you have a bunch of different things, and you can rotate them and flip them. You can use a horizontal and vertical flip, so you can kind of have them connect wherever you want. You can size them, you can even kind of squeeze them. One thing that I like to do, notice here between these two, I like to use available lines. It's part of a design concept. So it's kind of coming from here down to here. I would have spaced these a little bit better, to be honest, but I don't have to really worry too much. But you can see here that it's kind of pointing at this line and it's pointing from that line, and so that's just a simple little design principle. But you can see here that once I had that on the stage, I come up here, I've got a solid color line drawing in. Now this is a slight bug because this option should be off because it was off initially. And I did adjust this to a 1.5 seconds, and so you can see that. And then I hit the plus sign, and it created an empty and a block right next to it. And with that selected, I came up here and I basically reversed them and did draw out. And then this option was selected, reverse draw direction, and it basically results in the animation you see here where it's drawing down and then kind of drawing out in order to create that sort of connection. So that's pretty cool and interesting. You can also use the draw in and out. There's a little trick here. I'll just change this. I can delete just this one anti-block here and leave the other one there. And you can see here that if I have this selected, I can come up here and choose the animated multicolor option. And what I can do is I can just change it to a slightly different color line. And then I can do kind of a similar effect. I'm going to do loops 1 because I don't really want it to actually, I want to draw in and out really fast. So actually I want to do the draw in and out. And you can see here I've got it the wrong direction, so let's just reverse that. I'm going to click this and get it to go in the right direction. And notice that what it does is just a slight little variation. Instead of it coming down, it breaks apart kind of in the middle, just creating something kind of interesting. So you can use either or to kind of create this effect, but it's a fun little thing to create, again, the idea of process or relationship or a connection. And it's really fun and easy, and it's something you can add to your tool chest of cool things that you can do with Groove Animator.